you keep a secret? Look me in my eyes and see what.
Hi, and welcome back. Okay, well, with that out of the way, we got another part of the story to strap in, so let's just slip right into it. Another thing that I would like to add is there's going to be one more part after this. I ended up typing out my script so I would know what to say and I wouldn't get too off track, and then I realized at the end of it that this was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, and I don't want these videos to be like over 25 minutes. I really want to try to condense it to be not that, so I might have to create a last part for the last section of the story, and if so, I'm very, very sorry, but thank you anyways for keeping along with this whole thing. And if this is the first video that you're watching, there is a video before this that I would really like for you to go watch before you watch this one, or you're gonna be completely lost. But anyways, let's get back to the story. So after I had found out what happened to Layla, that she had been almost assaulted in a way where her consent would be taken away, especially under the influence of drugs and alcohol, there was a little switch inside of my brain that clicked, and a very dark part of myself kind of came out. I feel like in any other kind of situation, this wouldn't have happened, but with everything that had accumulated up to this point, especially the way that how Nora acted and how she was running things, I had absolutely no empathy or sympathy for the situation, and I still don't as of now. So instead of leaving a finely worded message in Gen Chat and so on and so forth, number one, I couldn't have done that anyways because it wouldn't have done anything. This server is her revenue stream. People that she manipulates in the server were her revenue stream. She would do everything and anything to protect that revenue stream, including banning and casting out anybody who would threaten that revenue stream, aka me trying to publicly expose her. Wouldn't have worked. It would have been a poor fucking way to do shit. So then I started thinking, instead of leaving the server, I thought of a very, very kind of fucked up, but considering who Nora was and what she was doing, not so fucked up plan. Now, but this time in the server, I had several of the most active members already favored me very highly over Nora, just because I'm not a fucking sociopath and I'm not a fucking heartless cunt. But Nora would overcharge people for these trips so she could skim profit off the top of it. She had been doing this not only to this server, but two other fucking servers. There were two other servers that she was pulling this shit in. The fucking hell! And how do I know this? Because the other friend, the guy, Rez, who I talked about earlier, he was the one who was also in those two other servers as well, who had told me that she was also advertising this stuff and bringing people to separate meetups that were not always the same meetups, but sometimes they were. That was never really made clear, but to be completely honest, it doesn't really fucking matter at this point. But she was making revenue off other servers. The other server that she also owned, but then the third server she did not own, but she was one of the head admins, which was also very fucking scary. Now, was that person involved? To be honest, I never really dug into that. I should have, but it just never came to mind. So to be completely honest, I don't know. So what did I end up doing? I created my own server along with Rez, and I started poaching the fuck out of every goddamn member that I could that was active and that would have given her a revenue stream out of that fucking server. Oh, no. I didn't just fucking stop there. Oh, fuck no. I was on a fucking mission. I was on a fucking Austin Powers in my turtle suit with this shit, okay? Not only did I start poaching members in the server that we were currently in, I made a doubled account. I used another friend of mine's account that had no association with the server. I used their account to get members into our server, so it didn't look like this new like Discord account was trying to poach members or anything, because that would be a little sus. So I used her account, which she's had for about a year and she just didn't even fucking use, to get members out of those two servers as well. Now, what was I doing with these servers? Technically, I was trying to inform people about what was going on in a very like casual, nonchalant way, so they would start leaving her server and coming over to ours, or just remain inactive over there. And about a month or so into this shit, the entire part of her server that was most active in giving her a revenue stream, she started to bleed members at an alarming rate, to the point where she got so fucking cracked and stressed, you could tell when she would come into VCs, and just like by the way that she would talk and the way that she would interact with people, she was very desperate and fucking tweaky. It was so fucking just oof. You know, it's so satisfying watching somebody profiting and gaining off of somebody who's a victim or unknowingly becoming a victim, and then they start to crumble and decay, and once the revenue stream is fucking cut off at the balls, they start to bleed dry. That shit fucking, ooh, so good it could become toxic. I mean, it was a little toxic. I was a little toxic. She started becoming so stressed. At one point, she started to full on, now keep in mind, at this point, I was still in the first server. She had no idea. And her goons, the top 3 head admins, nobody knew who was doing it. She had no idea at this point that there was a second server who was poaching members from all 3 of her servers, as well as not knowing that I did not think very favorably of her at this point in time. I am on the spectrum, and a lot of people who are on the spectrum, they're not very good at caring about or pretending to fake to care about something they fucking hate. It's difficult. It's like we can fake certain emotions, like when we don't care that you're talking about something, but we know it's rude to like be like, I don't care. That's so fucking rude. You're not supposed to do that. So you're just like, okay, yeah, but it's extremely difficult to pretend to care about something that you fucking hate. So at this point, I had kept up the act to a specific degree. She thought she could trust me in some fucking way, or at least she pretended like it. And she started to, it was just me and her in a VC one night, and she literally just started bawling. She had a full-on breakdown right there in the VC, and I had to sit there and pretend like I fucking cared. But I knew at the end of the day, everything would end up playing out, and it did, but obviously not in the way that I wanted it to, and not the way that I thought it would. But damn, bitch, if anyone deserved an Oscar, it was me for sitting there being like, I know it's so hard, I'm so sorry, man, damn, bitch, I need an Oscar for that fucking performance. Played that bitch like a fiddle. Played that stupid fucking sociopathic cunt like my little bitch in my hands. That was until somebody squealed. Wah, wah. Somehow, some way, Nora found out that there was a second server poaching her members from all 3 of the Discord servers that she had a hand in having great power over or whatever. And she found out that the group of people were going around and not only poaching her members, but were telling people who knew what was really going down at these meetups. And she fucking interrogated everybody. She was going balls deep and crazy. And at first, Rez, who was mod in the server that I had, wanted to go through our server to find out who the mole was. And I knew where he was coming from, but his objective and my objective, I could start to see later on in the server were very, very different. He kind of wanted to get back at her for stuff. I wanted to make the server for different reasons, to try to lower the amount of people who would be susceptible to her. And to be completely honest, it was kind of a dumb plan in the grand spectrum of things, because how long was I supposed to actually keep that up? I mean, there's a bunch of new people who are always going to be coming in there, and I can't just fucking sit here forever and do that. But obviously at the time I didn't think about that. But he wanted to go through the server to find out who the mole was, and to be completely honest, I told him it was stupid, don't even try. It wasn't anybody's fault, whoever did it. She was going around literally interrogating people, and a lot of people just didn't want to fucking deal with the drama. They didn't want to get in trouble, and to be completely honest, I don't really care. Number one, I was kind of hoping she'd find out about the server at some point. Also, like I said before, Nora had been frantically tearing through and interrogating over half the members in all 3 of her fucking servers. But I was very, very smart at this point, before she found out who we were, because I knew that we had a lot of people in our server. It was a matter of time before somebody said something, to be completely honest. And I was like, that's cool, that's fine, I don't really care. But while this was going on, she was tearing through all 3 servers, frantically talking to everybody. And at this point, I knew that she'd be pretty fucking busy trying to interrogate and yell and scream at a bunch of fucking people who had absolutely no idea what was going on. So I used this time to go even more into these servers and poach even more fucking people, because she wouldn't even fucking notice it from me, because her attention was spread amongst 3 different servers with over 1,000 members each in each server. Bitch was spread thinner than ham. Holy shit. And this was at the peak of me feeling like I was on top of the world. I fucking had this bitch. She'd spent years fucking manipulating and luring these girls into these compromising situations. And now she was at one. She was at her impasse now. I knew where her state of mind was. I fucking knew where it was. And oh my God, it was so fucking sweet and delectable. I could just lick it up. She can't delete the servers or purge them because then she'll lose her revenue stream. But she can't keep them because they're full of a bunch of people who know about the sick shit she does by luring girls in there. And now that a lot of girls know that she's doing this, and now it's common knowledge amongst all these servers, now she can't lure any new girls in. Not being able to lure the new girls in is not how you lure the sick dudes in. It's just the same thing with bars. You know, you have the ladies' night, you bring the ladies in to bring the guys in. Obviously over there, people don't have their consent violated, if you know what I fucking mean. So I finally had her pinned against the fucking wall until she found her server. She came in like a fucking Trojan horse and she saw all the messages and she scream capped fucking everything. But you know what? Didn't bother me. Because then it was time for the final fucking showdown. Well, at least I thought it was the final fucking showdown until, I mean, obviously when I go to Ohio, but we'll save that.